Hey guys, so it's been a long time since the first video that I made. I actually made that video as a response to a comment that was made on a Facebook page, which I very quickly left because it was a very negative space and you couldn't say one thing without someone saying something totally disgusting and negative. So I left the page very quickly, and I remembered that anything I've ever wanted to do in my life that I have done has never really been as a result of me asking for approval from anybody else. It's always been something that I felt was necessary to be done, and I did it. So I just left that and I went forward. So actually a few weeks after that, I actually did go to Zim, and I spent 3 weeks in Zim. I came back earlier than I initially wanted, although I had bought a one-way flight knowing that I didn't know if I was going to be there for 3 days or 3 months. But I had to come back for work, and I just want to share with you some of the things that I experienced. Instead of looking at the world outside and saying, oh, people have it so much better outside, what can we do in Zim that allows us to see the wealth in what we do have? The Western world is so incredibly organized and is so incredibly curated, and there's numbers and systems and all these different things that pretty much align people. You go this way, you don't go that way. If you go this way, this is what happens. Whereas Zim, I would almost describe it as the Wild West, simply because it's literally like no true rules other than don't piss off the government. And if you can pretty much avoid that, you can kind of live life very free. Zim has a lot of freedom. The second you touch Zim soil, at least for me, if you're not paranoid and if you don't read too much of the newspapers, the sense that you get when you first land and you just breathe the air, you just feel like this is the cleanest air I've smelled in a long time. Maybe one of the last places on earth where crime is low. When I say crime, I mean we don't have gangs roaming the streets, killing each other, drug lords, fighting over terrain. We have small little issues, but we really don't have guns. We don't have people coming out of left, right, and center, threatening your life, you know, for your opinion for the most part, unless you're pissing off the government again. I feel like that on its own is a commodity. The freedom, the fresh air is just so beautiful. And one of the things that I found that Zim did for me on my last trip was actually allow me to feel alive again. The more I watch news and YouTube videos, the more it seems like depression, anxiety, and all these mental issues are becoming a massive part of society in the Western world, and that has to do with something that the society set up. I mean, like, your brain is so sharp and so alert, you're constantly problem solving, whether it's like trying to find that mosquito that's driving you crazy all night, or sourcing water, which we had to do a few days after I got there. We ran out of water because they were cleaning up the pipes, and you know, for 3 or 4 hours a day for most days we're looking for water for about a week and a half. It's little things, finding ways to entertain yourself, finding ways to help somebody because you can see that they have a talent. Your brain is constantly alert, problem solving, that I think that's actually a part of the human brain that needs constant stimulation, that you're always stimulated in Zim. Because in the Western world, a lot of people don't have to problem solve. There's an app and there's a solution, there's a way of doing things that you never have to problem solve. And I think that's actually what's causing depression, anxiety, and mental illness, is that it's a bunch of people that are in society that feel worthless because they don't solve any problems, and hence it's leading them to become depressed and need medication to try to get through. But really, the simplicity of life, which is something that you can really find in Zim, is actually the cure for a lot of mental issues, is being in a place where not everything is sorted for you. You're having to sort things out. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's difficult or it's rough. It just means that it's really nice to get kale from your own garden and be like, dinner is ready in 30 minutes. You know, it's the simple living is actually, I think, something that more and more people are going to return to. And I think that on its own is actually an industry. Let's say I found a village near where my homestead is, and instead of necessarily changing their lives, I would more want to just maybe clean it up and make it habitable and offer that experience to people. You think of how many people would love to go and be somewhere for a week or 2 weeks or even a month, where their alarm clock is not the alarm on their phone, but really it's you know, like to be woken up like that, to go fetch water. The things that we think are struggles are actually so beautiful, and a lot of people would like to experience that, because at the end of the day, once you've gone to all all-inclusive resorts you can go to Mexico, it gets boring, and then you start complaining about little stuff like the ice wasn't cold enough. Like, what do you mean? Like, the water wasn't wet enough. Like, what do you mean? Like, you get to a point where you know what's coming around the corner, you're comparing to the next thing. You want to travel, you want an experience. Of course, you want to go somewhere safe, and for the most part, as I said, Zim is safe. And I think that on its own is actually an entire industry, the tourism of simple living, to go have to fetch water. Of course, we can make this a lot easier for people by having certain things arranged for them. But a lot of people are looking for that true African experience, where of course they're safe, but where, you know, when the sun goes down, there isn't an artificial light within sight. The light that you have is a light from the fire that the village people put together. And whether it's the singing and the dancing around the fire, or just sitting there and listening to your grandmother or the local grandmother tell stories of, you know, when she was a little girl and stuff like that. Those are experiences that people are truly looking for. So that on its own is an industry. Moving forward. But then I want to talk about, if you wanted to move to Zim, how could you make life super comfortable for yourself? You want to get a couple things sorted out. The little water shortage that we had there is not necessarily common. However, I would hate to be in a situation like that in the future and not know when water is coming again. Maybe I'd say get yourself a massive barrel. You can buy them for about $500 that store gallons and gallons of water, for just in case there ever was a water shortage. Even when we had a water shortage, my aunt's house didn't have a water shortage, which is about 10 minutes drive away. So I know it's not a massive issue, but just to be, you know, a little bit more comfortable, maybe get a massive gallon that you can keep. Usually they come like with this ugly green color. I would maybe hire an artist to actually paint it and make it look nice, like maybe caricatures or something like that. Have fun with it. Number two, I'd say maybe incorporate as much solar power as you possibly can. So we don't use any solar power, but I would like to move forward towards the off-the-grid way of living, where we have solar panels that, you know, power our chargers, power our stoves, our water tank as well. And then get Wi-Fi. You can get Wi-Fi anywhere that's within close proximity to the city. I connect unlimited Wi-Fi simply because I need to be able to use the computer for my work. If I needed something to be submitted as soon as tomorrow, I wouldn't want to have to go to town to use the internet. Those three things, it was about $80 to $100, I think, for unlimited Wi-Fi, but you can get 20 gigs, 45 gigs, 50 gigs, and so forth. All right, the next thing is going to be entertainment. How do you entertain yourself in the evenings? The city doesn't really have much action, with the exception of like just going out to bars and drinking, which of course can get really boring, or if you don't drink, you might not want to do that at all. So then I would suggest creating your own little cocoon. So when I say cocoon, I don't mean just in the nightlife in terms of entertainment, but also little circle of how you do things. You're going to need someone who is your problem solver, someone who's maybe graduated from university, knows how to use technology, can write up a contract if you need to, someone who's just smart and switched on, someone who can book your flight if they needed to, and that could be an assistant or an apprentice. And then you need someone who's going to do a lot of heavy lifting, so that's going to be like your local uncle kind of guy, get the barrels and light the fire, stuff like that. And then you're going to need maybe someone who does a lot of like your cooking, your house cleaning, that kind of stuff. So just so you can have a nice little basic, you know, home living where you feel very comfortable. So because you want to live like you're in luxury, you know, no matter where you are, even if you had all the money in the world and you're living in Switzerland or in Germany or whatever, you'd want to have someone who does your cooking, your cleaning. You'd want to have someone who does your heavy lifting. You want to have someone who's smart, who's switched on, who will look out for you legally and stuff like that. All right, and then you'd want to create your evenings. So for example, when I was in Zimbabwe, what we did is we had game nights. We also had a night where we would watch maybe a Netflix show, which is one of the reasons why I wanted unlimited Wi-Fi. And then we would have, you know, brine nights where, you know, I'll go find some really good meat and we would braise some meat and we'll just all get around the fire and just have some meat. And so 2 or 3 or 4 of those kind of nights are all you need. You can have a movie night. So because getting in and out of town can be quite discouraging in Zim, because especially in Bulawayo where there isn't street lights as much, especially if you're going out of the main city core. You want to have your own little cocoon of lifestyle as well as your cocoon of entertainment, things that you like to do that you can invite people over. You meet people in town. Oh yeah, come over on Sunday, we do da da da. You know, or maybe if you hire a chef or someone you hire to cook, you encourage them to learn how to make pasta or Italian food or Asian food or dim sum or sushi, and you go, okay, on Saturday night we're gonna have sushi night, and then you kind of create these little environments for yourself where you don't get bored, you don't feel like you're missing out from the outside world. And then another thing you want to do is you want to travel. I'd suggest that you definitely get out of the country every 4 to 6 months, because the humdrums of the society, they can keep you down. You can go out there with the best intentions, but after a couple months you're gonna start getting caught up with it, which also leads me to the idea: don't watch the news, don't read the news, don't watch the news. If something is important, you'll hear about it. Don't get caught up in how difficult or how horrible things are. Either figure out a way where you can manufacture clothing or furniture or art in Zim for sale in South Africa. And when I say for sale, I don't mean like selling in the market. I mean like find a company that maybe already imports or sells the kind of product that you want, and draw up, sound professional, look professional, write a professional email and ask them if they're interested in you providing them with maybe a certain kind of product that you can manufacture really well in Zim. And that way, your foreign exchange, you're getting rands or US dollars, and you're not depending solely on local money. And that can also, be the same thing with tourism, where you have people come from other parts of the world that just want to live in a village for a week or two, and experience that kind of life, and experience what it's like to carry water on your head for 2 miles, or learn how to control donkeys, because that's how you're going to get from village to main road where people buy a paraffin or something like that. So as far as business ideas, I'd love to do another video that is more business idea focused, but I wanted to talk more about the mindset you should have of how Zim can give to you versus you going to try to correct how people are living, how it can give you peace of mind, how it can bring you equilibrium, and how you can actually really, for the soul, be enriched by being in a society that is not so contrived, not so organized, and how that could really actually be the cure for lots of mental illnesses, especially the ones that are being discovered or developed later in life, where people were not born with these mental issues. And also, some of the basics that I talk about creating your own entertainment and having your own little cocoon in your home, that things are sorted for you, and pretty much the basics that you need to move there, live well, and not be totally bored. And then we can talk about ways of making money, I think maybe in a different video. If you want to see that kind of video, please do comment below. I'll make one way sooner than it took me to make this one. Anyway, so thank you.